Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme. Remember me to a lad who lives there. He once was a true love of mine.
Croeso, welcome back to Cottage Diary. I'm sorry that we didn't end up sharing a June garden tour with you, but if you've been watching the channel, you'll see that we went on quite a few visits to other gardens, so we've been really busy out and about since Daisy's home from uni. I also realised Daisy pointed out that I've never actually told you my name, which is ridiculous, but I'm Annie. So you'll all be familiar with my daughter's name, Daisy, but yes, I'm Annie, and you are very welcome in our garden. We're not going to do a full garden tour today. It's the beginning of July. We will do a full garden tour in a couple of weeks. But today I thought I would show you our apothecary / kitchen garden. I'm sat in one of the beds. It probably doesn't look like a conventional kitchen garden to you, but I assure you that it is actually. So for things to be allowed to grow in this part of the garden, they've got to be either edible and or have medicinal use, and of course, very importantly to me, be good for wildlife in some way. Now, I'm not saying that we necessarily eat or use all of these things for medicine, but I have researched and I know that historically people either ate them or used them for medicine, so therefore they are allowed in this area. Now, we may at some point end up eating and using all of them for medicine, but we don't currently do that. I also want to make a huge disclaimer. I am not a professional forager, I'm not an expert at all, and I'm not a qualified medical herbalist. So if you are considering consuming any of these plants that I mentioned today, either medicinally or as a food source, please do your own rigorous research first, and also make sure that you are 100% sure that your identification is correct. So yeah, please don't just take my word for it, because as I say, some of these things we have not personally eaten or used as a medicine, but I'm aware that historically they were used for those things. So I'm not going to talk about every plant on this side because that would get very long and boring. I just thought I'd talk about a few of them that are currently in flower, because I think I don't know about you guys, please let me know what you think, but I think it looks really pretty. It looks like a little meadow rather than a kitchen garden, which I think is very sweet, and actually probably looks more like an old-fashioned cottage garden did. So I'm going to talk about a few of the native wildflowers that can either be eaten or used for medicine, or both, that we've got in this area. And then I'll talk about one non-native plant that most people, or a lot of people, grow in their gardens that can also be used. So this here is red campion. The Latin name Silene comes from the Greek god Silenus, British folklore warns us that it's unlucky to pick it, and here in Wales, the folklore is that it was known as snakebite basically, and they thought that picking it would lead to getting either bitten by snakes or causing snakes to come into your house. And it also has very strong associations with the fairies in British folklore. As far as its useful properties, the young shoots can be blanched to reduce their bitterness and pureed similar to spinach, or it can actually be used as an asparagus substitute. You can also use the fat young leaves in a salad. As I said, this is a plant that you would really utilise earlier in the season when the growth is lovely and fresh. As far as its medicinal uses, I've read that it has been used to treat digestive disorders, but we have never used it for that. But, you know, definitely go and do your own research on that. So this glorious flower, which I happen to be coordinated with today, is Fox and Cubs. I mean, it's so sweet, isn't it? And it's called Fox and Cubs because I'm so sorry about the traffic, but it's a Friday and everyone's coming to the beach. Excuse me. The reason it's called Fox and Cubs is because there's the mama flower and there are their little babies, look, next to them. Anyway, it's also, as well as being very sweet and great for pollinators, it is a useful plant. So the leaves and flowers have been used to make a tea that's diuretic, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and was thought to have anti-cancer properties. So it's a wonderful plant to have over here in our kitchen garden / apothecary garden. So this stunning plant is yellow loosestrife, and it has edible and medicinal uses. So the leaves and the flowers can be added to salads, soups, that sort of thing. They do have a bitter flavour, but actually we do need more bitter, particularly in our Western diets. We don't have enough bitter flavours in our diets, and they are very good for the digestive system. And traditionally it was used to treat lots of different conditions, apparently, such as liver and kidney problems, digestive disorders, and even eczema. And in Greek myth, it's actually named after a Greek king who is said to have used the plant to heal his horse. And in Celtic mythology, the goddess Bridget was thought to use this plant to heal wounds. This amazing blue-purple flower is meadow cranesbill and is the wild cousin of the hardy geraniums that a lot of us grow in our gardens. In folklore, it's associated with protection and good fortune in this country. The flowers are edible, as I believe are most hardy geranium flowers, and parts of the plant have been used for skin care as it contains antioxidants, anti-inflammatories and vitamins. And this here is yarrow. So again, it's related to the Achillea that people quite often grow. Oh, Daisy, look, it's Curtis. Sorry to interrupt. It's Curtis, one of our little lizards that lives in the garden. Isn't he sweet? I thought I saw some scurrying. Oh, hello, Curtis.
Hello.
It's all right, darling. We won't hurt you. We'll ignore you now so you don't feel scared. Well, that was nice. Thank you for coming to see us.
Thank you. Is everyone cute?
Yes, you ready for your close-up? Yeah, sorry for that, guys.
Yarrow.
So this is yarrow. So it's related. So it's the common yarrow, the wild yarrow in the UK. Oh, look, he's basking. He's basking on the stone. I'm so sorry. Oh, look at him. You're not ready to say goodbye yet. Excuse me, I'm full of cold. Yeah, so it's related to the Achilleas that we grow in the garden, and its Latin name is Achilleum millefolium or something, isn't it? So it's basically related to, it's named after Achilles in Greek myth. So back to what it can do. Obviously, it's great for wildlife. It's a wildflower, and as you can see, it does have hundreds of tiny little flowers, little florets. It's edible and medicinal. So in fact, it's probably one of our favourite plants to use, isn't it?
Yeah.
And one that we do regularly use. So the leaves can be eaten raw or cooked. Again, these are bitter, but that's usually a sign that they're good for you. But again, if you have a salad, I mean, is it radicchio that's the bitter?
Yeah, I also found rocket quite bitter.
Yeah, it can be. And chicory's the bitter one, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, you can use it just as to have a little bit of bitter in your salad for balance. The leaves are best eaten young. They're very nutritious, but apparently the recommendation is not to eat the leaves in very large quantities. I haven't been able to find out why, but apparently that's recommended. So yeah, do take that on board. And medicinally, you use this quite a lot now, don't you? So we make a tea from the flowers and the leaves. It helps maintain a regular menstrual cycle. It reduces your period cramps.
It's really helped with my period cramps.
Yeah, and with clotting as well, isn't it? It's a real blood herb, and it's supposed to protect reproductive health as well. And it's long been used to reduce inflammation, and it stimulates the release of gastric enzymes and bile, which can help reduce symptoms of diarrhea and bloating and things. So
that's the case with a lot of the bitter herbs.
Yeah. So it could be used for sort of symptoms, IBS symptoms and various things like that. So it's a brilliant plant, isn't it, to have in the garden. So this is Lady's Mantle. And actually, this isn't a native, is it?
No.
It's widely naturalised, but it isn't actually a native, so I shouldn't have got it in this section. And it's another what can be known as a woman's herb, but not exclusively, but it is a good one, like the yarrow, for women's health. The young leaves are best to eat fresh in salads, or you can even make a pesto from them. And herbally, the flowers can be used to make a tea to aid women in pregnancy and menstruation. And it's just beautiful, isn't it? And again, it's called Alchemilla mollis, and you probably know this, called Alchemilla mollis, because when there are raindrops on the leaves, which I can't show you today, which is very unusual here in Wales,
absolutely,
but it looks like mercury, doesn't it? It looks like some sort of alchemical process going on. A non-native plant that lots of us do grow is the lamb's ear here. But did you know that the leaves are actually edible? The young leaves can be added to a salad, or they can be steamed as a green or stir-fried. Medicinally, the leaves are like a sort of homegrown antibacterial bandage. They're great for cuts and stings, and they're also good for throat infections. So I hope you've enjoyed the very, very quick tour around just this one bed on this side of the garden. There are a lot more plants in here that you may be surprised to learn you can either eat or use as medicine. If you are interested in learning any more, then please let me know. As I say, I'm not an expert, but I've got the name of two experts here
that we both really enjoy watching,
that we love and we do recommend. So the first, if you're interested in herbal medicine, then the first channel that we're aware of that we love is Darnew's Irish Herb Garden. So that's Terry at Darnew's Irish Herb Garden, and she is a medical herbalist, so she knows what she's talking about. So I would thoroughly recommend watching her to learn more and how to make herbal preparations. And the other one is Marlowe at Wild Foods UK. So he's a forager, isn't he?
Yeah, he's published a few books, I think, and he also does courses on foraging throughout the UK.
Yeah, and so does Terry, based in Ireland. She does courses and things, and she's got some handbooks as well. So yeah, we would both recommend, if you want more information from people that really know what they're talking about, rather than very much basic amateurs
Yeah.
here,
Just
then
enthusiastic amateurs.
enthusiastic amateurs, then I would thoroughly recommend those. Anyway, we're going to gather some of these goodies and turn them into a salad. So if you want to meet us back in the cottage, we'll make the salad and show you what we've got. So as you may notice, I'm wearing different clothes now because it poured down with rain. But we did quickly gather some things from the garden to make a salad, as we said we were going to. Some of the things are the herbs that we mentioned, and some are just things that we were growing in the garden. So we thought you might just be interested. So we've got some broccoli leaves from the purple sprouting broccoli that we're growing. Don't just feel that you should just eat your broccoli florets, do eat the leaves because they're delicious. So we're just going to put in a few of those. And we had some fresh peas growing, so we're going to put in a few of those because they're absolutely delicious fresh, aren't they, guys? So we'll put in a few of those. And then what I didn't show you was, so I picked some yarrow leaves, sorry, which again, I think I mentioned before that they've got a very, very strong taste. So definitely don't add too many to a meal, otherwise it will just overpower it. We do love it in a tea though, don't we? It makes
It's a really delicious, kind of minty kind of tea.
Yeah, sort of. But yes, so don't add too much, but they are very good for you. Just don't eat too many of them. And then this is a plant that I forgot to tell you about when we were in the garden. It's called Self-Heal. I'm hoping that most countries have it because it's absolutely brilliant. It's edible, so you can just eat it raw or cooked, but it's also brilliant as a medicine. So if you put about 3 heads like this in a cup of boiling water, make a little tea from it, it's brilliant for coughs and colds. It's also antiviral, isn't it? It's full of vitamins and minerals, and also good for digestive problems.
It's got quite a neutral flavour as well. So...
Yeah, it doesn't really have that much of a flavour. So, you just add it to your salad if you want to, and it just adds some extra nutrition and just generally boosts your immune system. Oh, I think it's a good lymphatic herb as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so definitely something we're going to want as we're coming into winter. We're hoping to harvest some of the flowers.
Yeah, and I've got a problem with my lymphatic system at the moment. So yeah, it's definitely one of those that I'm trying to have more of. And to dry it, we're just going to as recommended by, what's the YouTube channel? We forgot to mention the
Home
YouTube
is where
channel
our
we love.
heart is.
Thanks, Daisy. Home is where our heart is, which is another really good British wild forager, wild herbal medicine channel on YouTube. And yeah, they suggest to dry these just to have a cardboard box lined with foil, to just sort of have them loosely placed there, let them dry out for a few days, and then just put them in a jar to store. So, because obviously it would be good to have this throughout the whole autumn and winter, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so we want to make sure it stores well.
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly, I mean, we have such a damp old cottage, so we're right by the river and things, and we're in Wales, so yeah, good to have something that's fully dried out and in something airtight. So yeah, so we'll have a little bit of self-healing. Oh, excuse that, that's the road. And then we've got, yeah, these are the leaves for self-heal. Did you get a good close-up of the... So that's the flower of the self-heal. We'll do a close-up insert from the garden, Daisy, as well, shall we? Because we didn't show that one close-up. We've just got a chive flower because they're just so beautiful and obviously...
And tasty.
Yeah, I mean, they just taste chives. Sorry, that's our clock, Mabon. Chiming. So just put that in. I mean, they're delicious. I'm assuming most of you know that you can eat nasturtium flowers and the leaves, and they've got a peppery taste, not dissimilar to rocket, isn't it, Daisy?
Yeah.
But also so pretty for a salad. So I'm just going to sprinkle those. This is not, Daisy's the artistic chef. I'm more of a chuck it all in the bowl and get stuck in sort of person.
You're more for flavour than aesthetic.
Yes, yeah, in cooking anyway, yeah. And again, just beautiful calendula. They're great for you and just so pretty. So already we've got sort of
I'll show you how it's starting
pink and purple and yellow. Just so lovely. And then this is actually wilted now because we picked it about an hour ago. You'll have to do an insert, Daisy.
Yeah, it's one of the beautiful chicory
flowers, which are bright blue. So that's not really gonna. Well, I'll sprinkle the petals, but it's not doing it justice, is it? And what else did I get now? Oh yes, you picked some nettle seeds, didn't you?
Yeah, they've got a delicious nutty flavour.
And they are just so good for you. They've got so much nutrition in nettle seeds, and we're also going to attempt to dry these out and store them for the autumn and winter, aren't we? Because they're just so...
To add just a little garnish.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're more nutritious than a lot of sort of fruit and veg, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're absolutely incredible. And obviously, to countries that have them, I don't know if they're all over the world, but I'm assuming most countries have nettles. It's free food, isn't it? Which is brilliant. And then some of the lamb's ear leaves that we mentioned. So, I mean, they are a bit furry, but I mean, sage is a bit furry as well, isn't it? So
you wouldn't want a whole bowl of it.
No,
just
exactly. But just, I mean, it's just beautiful as well. I think that's lovely. Is that? And we had some wild oregano as well. Where did I put that?
I think I put that next to the self-heal. They do have quite similar leaves.
Oh, okay.
Not sure if they've got a bit confused.
Yeah, I think they probably have. I think that might be oregano. Where are the flowers? We picked flowers as well, didn't we?
No, just the leaves.
Okay. No, I think I must have already put them in. No, none of that is. Well, we put it so professional as always. We did put in some wild oregano as well. So that's our little salad. I mean, it's not a recipe. We just thought you would be interested in seeing it. And yeah, we will definitely enjoy that, won't we? And it's full of nutrients. So thank you for joining us in the cottage. I'm desperate to give you a July garden tour, but the weather has been really challenging this year. So it's either raining whenever I'm in a position to film,
or everything's flopped with the rain and I haven't got time to sort of stake it and things, but I would love to show you around that again. But yeah, thanks very much for joining us. And if you do like our videos, please consider liking and subscribing, because it really does help the channel. Bye.